So guys, we are MMA UK News, Stoomboy as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So going to be talking about Grapplefest 16. Now before we do, just a quick word on my sponsor. So Simplified Debt are a company that helps people who are maybe struggling financially anywhere across the UK. So if you are looking for some kind of help and advice on any financial debts that you do have, then definitely hit these guys up. Their number and website is across the bottom of the screen. Now, Grapplefest 16 then, so we're only a few days away. It's going to be this Saturday, 1st of July. Going to be at Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. Now, the Grapplefest's already put out the cards, and the main and prelim cards are fucking awesome from start to finish, as they always are. I mean, Grapplefest always put on amazing shows. This one is absolutely no different. Now, ticket availability, anybody looking for tickets, make sure you hit up your chosen grappler first of all. They may still have tickets available. I did see a lot of grapplers saying they've got none left because Grapplefest tickets, they do go very, very quickly. So, but definitely check with your chosen grappler. If they've none, then hit up Grapplefest on the Facebook page, and you will get the details through there. Pay-per-view, there's a new pay-per-view for this. Chris Thompson's already put posts up. And again, what I'll be doing is I'll repost it, and I'm sure obviously all the grapplers as well will repost that pay-per-view link. So definitely do not miss this Saturday. It's going to be an awesome night. So my next guest then is going to be on the show that night. So UTC Blackpool's Jamie Wright. Jamie, awesome grappler. Obviously, not just jiu-jitsu, wrestling, judo as well. So obviously a little bit of everything thrown into the mix. So definitely comes with a good pedigree, good competition record and so on as well. So it's going to be great to see him step out on the Grapplefest mats this Saturday. So Jamie, listen, absolute pleasure, brother. Thanks for taking the time to speak to me.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, mate. Yeah, it's good, this.
Yeah, it's all a pleasure. I saw your name, obviously. I saw your name in the Grapplefest card, and I knew that, obviously, me and you had something coming up as well. So I was like, 100% want to have a chat with you. I know that, obviously, under Scott Tuddup, Scott's an awesome guy, training down there. You got a few pals of mine, Rihanna Parker and so on. So, yeah, really good gym setup you guys have down there in Blackpool.
Yeah, it's gone from strength to strength in the last, I think since COVID, to be fair. Never lost any members. We had a bit of a problem with the gym about a year ago with a leaking roof. We moved gyms, and we've kept the core group, and it's been, you know what I mean? It's been gone from strength to strength, and we've got a lot more just Muay Thai lads out doing big things on big shows. MMA guys up on Machine MMA up in Gateshead and stuff. Like say myself on Grapplefest, we've got a couple of lads on Carl's show with us in a couple of weeks as well. So the gym's gone, especially from the town where we are. It's not exactly huge, you know what I mean? So to have guys and girls on competitions like this, it's phenomenal, man.
Yeah. Let me ask this question, because I've always wondered this, Jamie. Who's the real boss at UTC? Is it Scott or Bev?
Bev 100%. Like Scott's she just runs everything in the background, and Scott's just the forefront of it, really. But Bev tells her when we go and goal competition, she's the one, she has it all written down. If it's not on smooth comp, she tells us where we need to be.
Yeah.
We're all going to Germany in about a month, about 10, 12 of us to Globetrotters camp, and she's the one that organises all that. And so, yeah, like, so I don't want to call her our mum because she'd kill me for that.
But Scott will always tell you he's the boss.
Oh, he tries to be, but I think his wife and Bev might have something to say about that, though.
There's somebody just coming in laughing. So, obviously, Sarah just coming in with a laughing face there. So, Sarah, you know what we're talking about. So, Bev's definitely the boss. She's definitely the boss.
No doubt about that, mate. Yeah.
What about you then, training-wise? So, obviously, again, we talked about not just jiu-jitsu. You're out there, you're doing, obviously, wrestling, catch wrestling. You're out there doing judo and so on as well. So, how do you keep yourself busy? How do you keep yourself... or how do you manage to fit everything in, should I say?
All right. Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle because I've got a full-time job as well. So it's got that with a family and all stuff like that. But we've got morning classes, evening classes. We're pretty lucky now. When we moved the gym, it was into a judo gym as well. So it was all sort of under one roof. I like to go snake pit down the road. It's not too far away, but try and get there as often as I can. But yeah, it is a struggle. But you take like credit from people like, Matty Holmes and people like that, who full-time jobs, compete at the highest level, family. So if they can fit it in, depending on what you want to do, then you try and work around it, don't you? And obviously the missus holds it down at home, and then she just allows me to go out and do whatever I need to do, you know what I mean? So I can't fault her for that, like.
Yeah, no, listen, as I say, you're out there doing a lot. I mean, not just you, but I mean, you talk Matty Holmes especially. I mean, Matty is
people like in the country working, competing like this level up here, you know. So it's doable, you know. So
yeah. How's training going for yourself then? So how's everything going for you at the moment?
Yeah, phenomenal, mate. To be fair, it's been one of the since last 8 weeks when I found out. It's been all systems go. Like training 6 a.m. in the morning, getting good lads down there as well, good rounds in, really good training in the evenings and stuff. So, and touch wood, I've been injury free-ish. You know what I mean? You have the niggles and stuff, but I've kept relatively healthy throughout this. So that's a bonus in itself, and you know yourself, mate. Pick up them injuries easily, can't you?
Yeah. What about Grapplefest then? So obviously a massive show. I mean, this Grapplefest card probably is one of the best cards that they've had. So, and they always, I mean, like, see when I talk to Chris, and I'm like, how are you going to top 15? How are you going to top 14? How are you going to top?
I don't know how he's going to do it myself. And you look at it, and then if you look at the prelim card, you wouldn't even complain that being a main card in some places, would you? But then he comes up with getting world champions and Jay Rodriguez and all people like that coming over. I don't know how he does it, but he seems to do it every time.
Yeah, he always plans this because whenever I say to him, and he's like, he's already got the next 2 or 3 Grapplefest events in his head. He's not got them written down; they're in his head, right? And then obviously when it comes to it, he's like, right, okay. So he's like a mad scientist.
Yeah, he is, and we're pretty blessed to have it here in the UK as well. Like, if you look at who's number 1, it's all Texas and all that way, and they get them, but because they're all based in America, aren't they? So it's easy to get them here. The logistics, especially like during COVID, he was still sticking on big cars, and logistically, it must have been a nightmare getting people over.
Yeah. Nah, he's done absolutely amazing, especially the UK, especially UK scene. Obviously, Grapplefest definitely probably the top submission only event in Europe by an absolute mile. So.
That mate, no.
Yeah. And what they do as well is I like the fact that they bring on, like, obviously the blue belt. So like maybe an unknown blue belt. They'll come on, go through the contenders, let them get a chance, purple belt, brown, and let them build their name up and so on. So
that's how you get the next UK stars, though, isn't it? You know, you can't just always have the ones that are already established. You've got to have people that are coming through the ranks. Or else you never get a shot. You never get a chance to be on the big stage. You're not saying the little shows, but you end up sticking to them. You never get the shot, do you? So
yeah. Nah, it's great. It's an awesome card. I mean, how did you find out then that you were going to be chosen? You were going to be on that night. So what were you doing especially? What were you doing at the time when you got the message?
I was at work and I was on a little break. And I just thought I'd check my phone, and literally, I kid you not, it just said Josh Taylor under 90. And I was like, I'll be honest with you, my arse fell out at first. And I was, because it's a big like jump up in it, you know, in class and stuff like that. And I just jumped at it, you know, didn't even hesitate to say yeah. You don't say no anyway, because there's that many people applying for these shows, you may never get that call again. So it didn't even matter who it was going to be against. It just had to say yes, and that was it. Like,
yeah. Did you say to the guys in work, like, I'm going to be on Grapplefest? And they've obviously looked at you and went, what the fuck's Grapplefest?
Because people look at jiu-jitsu like they haven't got a clue what's going on, and you say something like you're buzzing about it, and people look at you like you're mental, don't they?
I've done that before. I've been at work and what you doing this weekend? I'm going to Grapplefest, but I don't know what Grapplefest is. You're like, it's the fucking biggest grappling show in Europe. Do you know what I mean? Like, nah.
And then you get the whole get like, oh, is it karate? And you're like, oh, for fuck's sake! Right.
Oh, mate.
People, is it UFC? Basically that, mate. Agree with people in the end, don't you?
Yeah. No, mate, I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. So, what's next then? So, obviously, this Saturday is going to be obviously your main focus. So, what do you plan on doing for the rest of the year then? So, anything coming up apart from obviously the obvious? We know Northern Submission Series, but anything else coming up for you at all?
To be honest, I fancy going over to do trials. If I'm honest, just just to go out. I was talking to a few people recently, and it's like nothing to lose, everything to gain. The experience of going out there as well. So fancy going out and doing trials, mate. If I'm honest.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome trials, man.
I think if you ask anybody at a level now, I think if you ask them that, because they watched ADCC last year and everyone's like, that's where you want to be. I mean, it's like an impossible dream for a lot of people, but you've just got to go out there and have a go, ain't you? You just never know. And like I was speaking to someone, it's like you get a win on that against anybody, and then your name goes again, doesn't it? So it's just about keeping your name in the hat, like, innit? And you know, like you say, I'm having no illusions you're going to go out and win trials, but it's being out there and feeling that, especially on Saturday as well, you're around that caliber of grappler and seeing how they prepare themselves and how they like focus and get the job done. You know what I mean? It's only you watch that and you learn it massively of them people. Like,
what would you do trials under 99 or under 88?
If you're under 88, mate, I'm no illusion I'm anywhere near that. You know what I mean? I'm just like a fat kid. I just like to eat food. So when I focus, like now I've been working with a good strength coach, Jack Harmon. And he's sorted me out on no end, you know what I mean? So if I get the nutrition right and my strength right, then my weight comes down quite easily because I'm not a 95 plus 100 kilogram guy by any stretch, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Mate, it's good division 88. Really good division. So, and as you say, to be in the mix, to be in with all of them under 88 kilo guys is going to be fucking awesome.
And the day, you're not here for a long time, mate, are you? So, and especially in sport, your window of opportunity is so small. I'm 36 now, mate. You never know what's going to happen. Touch wood, you get a mad injury next week, next year, tomorrow. You don't know, do you? And you just don't want to put it off. Like, go out there, have a go, and then you never know, do you?
Yeah, yeah. Trials will be good, man. Trials will be good. I mean, obviously, trials. Is, I mean, it's blew up. I mean, ADCC obviously been around for a while, but it seems to have blown up over the last maybe couple of years. Because obviously we've seen last year with the trials, Fionn going out and obviously winning the whole thing with Ash Williams, Owen Flanagan, and a few other guys in there as well. So and everybody's excited about this year.
I don't think what they did out there was spoke about enough either, was it? Like Owen O'Flanagan and Fionn going out there and doing what they did. I don't think it gets recognised enough because they're not an American or a Brazilian grappler, do they?
Yeah, yeah. Mate, the Fionn, obviously, history. Do you know what I mean? Absolute history. So, and rightfully now, the best female grappler in the world at the moment by a mile.
I think she's meant to winning the Gi Worlds again recently, didn't she? So there's no doubt conversation anymore, is there?
Yeah. So definitely people are now looking at the UK and saying, well, because remember, it used to be like back in the day, it was like whenever ADCC came along, it was the big story was, do you guys know how to wrestle? Because nobody in the UK knows how to wrestle. Now everybody in the UK is cross-training wrestling. We look at some of the top guys out there are obviously training wrestling. You got judo, Owen Livesey going out there and just manhandling people. Do you know what I mean? So. And obviously your pure jiu-jitsu guys going out there and doing the same thing. So we're definitely this year, obviously at the trials, there's going to be hopefully quite a few the UK contingent heading over to the Worlds this time. So
you can shock a few people as well. You know what I mean? When you get like Sam McNally, Owen O'Flanagan, had a phenomenal run at ADCC, didn't he?
Yeah. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Northern Submission Series as well. I heard you've got a match on that.
I think so, yeah. I don't know who it is, though.
So, me and you. I remember there was a comp, because he said, obviously, do you want a match? And this is a funny thing. He said, Stoom, do you want a match? And I was like, yeah. I want a gi match, right? So, and then he said, right, who do you want? And I remember there was a competition a while back, and me and you were in the same bracket. It never happened, right? So I was like, well, I said, I want Jamie Wright. So it was meant to happen before, but yeah, let's do it this time. So, but it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it.
Like you say, it's a good show that as well, isn't it? Like from where I looked at the pictures the other day of like his first show and to now, like that's grown like quick sharp, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And like Callum, that he's loved by everyone, isn't he? And he's one of them. He puts it all on the line himself, so people will go to that show for him as well, won't they?
Yeah, mate. It's an awesome show. I remember at the Roker Hotel, and the Roker Hotel was packed, and then when they took it to the point, they're now just building it up and building it up. And see that, like, the promotion that goes into it, like when you walk out and there's fucking fire going off behind you, and
that's a buzz, that, isn't it? Like, I cannot get fired up for that.
Yeah. But it's because obviously him and Ant are both like MMA guys. They're bringing an MMA style of promotion to grappling, which is needed. I mean, you've been to some shows where the atmosphere's dead and it's quiet, and even a walkout is just, there's no lights, there's no nothing. And don't get me wrong, it's still good. It's still good to go out there and do your thing. But to go out there when you've got fire going off and music blaring, lights shining, people screaming,
well, that's what
totally
trying to bring it into like the MMA style as well, aren't they? Of like the big show, rather than just meeting up in a sports hall like it used to be on a couple of mats and then have a roll. It's like now the shows are getting, because they're getting more interest, aren't they? And there is getting the money's coming into it as well, so people are now learning livings out of it, so they have to bring the shows up. You know, so people are making a professional living out of this now, aren't they? So
yeah. Man, I wish I was making a living. You're probably the same. Like, why are we not making any fucking money?
Where's all the sponsors at, isn't it?
But nah, it's going to be a great show. But it's a raised platform as well, so I've seen
careful, innit?
Yeah, I've seen it a few times. Where some guys have fucking almost went off through tables and everything. But it's a big platform. It's a big kind of decent sized mat space. You know what I mean? So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be really good. I'm looking forward to it. As I said,
it'll be fun, man. Yeah, it'll be good. I like to say it's only 2 weeks away, innit? So get this one out of the way, stay injury free, and hopefully I'll see you in a couple of weeks, innit?
Definitely. Final thing then, Jamie. Obviously, again, been in the game for a while. I mean, you've got some amazing training partners. Obviously at UTC, Snake Pit Wigan, and so on. So, but anybody in particular you want to shout out to? Any friends, family members, teammates, anything like that?
Just literally everyone at UTC have just been, for the last few years, mate, have been absolutely phenomenal. And like Scott, like personally for me, has just brought me, because I started training with someone else back in like 2009, and then when I come back around here, I started training with Scott, and he's just took me from here to like through the roof, because not just he cares about people as individuals as well, rather than there's some people, and I'm not saying everyone, but some people, like, you're a pound note to him, aren't you? You know what I mean? They're trying to take as much money as he can out of the game, but Scott literally couldn't care less about that. He cares about everyone in the gym getting better as humans and as grapplers, you know what I mean? So, and everyone at UTC, like, has been great for the last 3 or 4 years for me. So every single one of them, mate.
Yeah. Definitely Scott. Scott's an absolute gentleman. I mean, I've spoke to Scott a number of times back and forward via Messenger and over the years, and as I said, such a nice guy, really nice guy. And as you said,
he doesn't get enough recognition for what he's done in like the game. You know what I mean? Like, he's been around like martial arts since '95. Like, I was a kid back then, you know. So yeah, and so to see the lads that he's training now getting on the big shows, and the MMA guys up on the machine, you know what I mean? He's now getting the fruits of his labour, probably a bit later than he should have done, to be fair, but he's getting it now. So all props to him, mate.
Definitely. So anybody in the area, anybody in Blackpool, I know you Scottish people love to go to Blackpool for a few days. So take a gi or take some no gi stuff and hit up UTC for some training.
Doors open to anyone that wants to come and train with us, mate. There's none of that can't train here bullshit. It's like turn up, get on the mat and just train, mate. That's how it should be, innit?
Yes, definitely. Just a couple of comments coming in. Francesca Shakespeare just saying yes, Jay. And then also Francesca just saying the UTC family. So awesome stuff. Yeah. And as you said earlier, I mean, you guys have been through a lot, COVID, and then obviously the gym getting flooded out as well, and coming back is stronger than ever. So
I think that gym change I think it did us the world of good, to be fair. Bigger place and other guys. We even got like Ferg and like old Paul, the like 60, 70, 80-year-old judo guys coming doing jiu-jitsu now, starting as white belts, and you're just like, that's phenomenal to see that. If you can get on a mat at 70 years of age, mate, and put a gi on and put a white belt back on after being a black belt for that many years, then like you say, you're winning, mate, aren't you?
Listen, hats off to them. Much respect to anybody that does that. So
if I'm going near a gym at 70, mate, I'll be absolutely loving it, wouldn't you?
Listen, mate, by the time we get to 70, man, we will be well and truly broken, man.
I'll be by the sunny window in a home, mate, I think.
But listen, Jamie, absolute pleasure. Brilliant to chat with you. So,
Thanks for having me, mate.
So, guys, there we go. Jamie Wright, UTC Blackpool, is going to be heading to Grapplefest 16 this Saturday, the 1st of July. Now, ticket availability, as I said, anybody looking for tickets, hit up your chosen grappler first of all. So, Jamie might still have some available. If not, head over to Grapplefest Facebook page and it will take you through, give you all the ticket details there. There's also pay-per-view on this, so make sure you go through a link that is a reputable link, only from someone that you know has posted the link. So everybody in jiu-jitsu, grappling, MMA and so on knows the links that we're talking about. They usually come in the comments, and there's some pages that float up usually around about the time of some shows as well. But as they only go through reputable ones, that's normally either through Chris Thompson, myself, because I'll repost Chris Thompson's, and obviously any of the grapplers and so on that are on the show, they will probably repost as well. So do not get scammed, because as I said, it's I mean, the scammers are out there every single time a show comes up. So but Jamie, listen, absolute pleasure, brother. Best of luck on Saturday. As I said, I'll be watching at home, so looking forward to seeing you step on the mat, do your thing.
Appreciate it.
You're going to love it. But listen, enjoy, and I'll see you in 2 weeks, in a couple of weeks, buddy.
Nice
All
one.
right.
Take it easy.
Take it easy, buddy. Bye-bye.